Europe is a continent filled with lots of high-quality roller coasters and amusement parks. Most of the time, American coaster enthusiasts like myself will make Europe their first big trip outside of the continent. This past summer, I had the opportunity to take a 7-week road trip to theme parks all across Europe with my brother Sean. And this summer, in 2023, I have plans to potentially visit more, but information on that will have to wait for another video. In order, we went to Poland, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, and France. So I do have quite a bit of experience to help me with today's list. In this video, I will be ranking the top 10 European countries to travel to as a roller coaster enthusiast. Now, I haven't been to every country in Europe, and there are several that I haven't been to or have no plans to visit that should be on here. Therefore, I put in a lot of research to help determine what countries I haven't been to that should have also made the cut. Therefore, I put in a lot of research for the sake of this video. There are 3 criteria I'll be using to rank these. First is the quality and quantity of elite world-class roller coasters in a country. Second is the lineup of solid supporting coasters in a country. And third is the distance between parks and how many quality coasters there are per capita. Before we dive in, I've picked out 4 honorable mentions that I'll briefly go over. The biggest is Denmark, a country I visited this past summer, home to 47 roller coasters, including a great variety of solid supporting coasters. While Denmark is a small country, its major amusement parks are dispersed very nicely, and that includes its roller coasters. Some of my favorites include Tornado at Bakken, Piraten at Djursummerland, and Phoenix at Fair Summerland. A country that falls in a similar boat is Russia. The world's largest country currently has 192 roller coasters, many of which are in the west near Moscow and St. Petersburg. But like Denmark, Russia has a number of great supporting coasters like Shred the Sewers at Dream Island, Quantum Leap and Serpent Dragon at Sochi Park, and various Intamin and Mott coasters at Wonder Island. Turkey is another sizable country, home to 137 roller coasters, but like Russia, many are simply kids' rides. What's interesting about Turkey's coaster collection is, unlike Denmark and Russia, they have a pretty poor lineup of supporting coasters, but a solid lineup of elite and near-elite coasters. These include Hypercoaster at Land of Legends, Red Fire at Korsanadasi, and Nefeskissen at Vialand. The last honorable mention is Austria. This beautiful country in the European Alps has 66 current roller coasters, and they are dispersed quite well. The problem is, both the quantity and quality here is mediocre. It can also fluctuate greatly depending on the year, since Austria's signature amusement park Wiener Prater constantly takes in traveling coasters like the world-famous Olympia Looping. Though as of next year, they will be home to the permanent installation Wiener Looping at Wiener Prater, Wild Train at Fantasiana, and don't forget to catch a ride on one of their scenic alpine coasters. Alright, that's enough dilly-dallying, let's get on to the top 10. Number 10, Finland. This Nordic country has the smallest quantity on this list at just 23 roller coasters currently in operation. To put that into perspective, Six Flags Magic Mountain in California is just 3 coasters away from matching the quantity of the entire country of Finland. The reason it makes the list anyways is because they are home to a pretty good set of elite to near elite roller coasters and supporting roller coasters. Almost all 23 Finnish roller coasters are located across 3 parks, Linnanmäki, Sarkaniemi, and Powerland. Must-dos include Taiga at Linnanmäki, what many will argue is one of the greatest coasters manufactured by Intamin, if not in all of Europe. Junker at Powerland is in a pretty remote location, but if you do get out there, you'll be treated to what might be the world's most underrated Gerstlauer coaster. Tornado at Sarkaniemi is an ultra-rare Intamin suspended thrill coaster that I hear pulls some great forces. This is a country I hope to get to at some point in the near future. Number 9, France. To be honest, France is a country I'd expect to rank higher considering they have the 4th highest population in Europe just after Russia, Germany, and the United Kingdom. France has 216 roller coasters, which is a heck of a lot more than Finland and far more than some of the countries ranked higher on this list. The problem is, a lot of these are small, and up until this year, they were home to 0 elite roller coasters. But thankfully, with the addition of Toutatis at Parc Asterix, that all changes. It looks to be one of, if not the greatest launch coaster layout ever conceived, and I can't wait to ride it. Other than that, France does have a number of great supporting coasters, and I do like how they're dispersed all throughout the country. Tonnerre Zeus and Osiris are 2 excellent roller coasters also at Parc Asterix near the capital, Paris. Alpina Blitz at Nigloland is a unique Mock Rides Megalite coaster, similar to Piraten at Djursummerland. Monster at Walligator Grand Est is a B&M inverted coaster, and is a clone of Raptor at Cedar Point. Mystic is a super unique and super fun Gerstlauer Infinity coaster at Walibi Rhone Alps. And for good measure, France is also home to several coasters at the 2 Disney theme parks in Paris. Number 8, Poland. There is no way Poland would have made the cut if this list was made a decade ago. But more so than any other country in Europe, Poland has really made a name for themselves in the theme park industry. You'll find 70 roller coasters in this wonderful country, and almost 30% is located in one park, known as Energylandia. Energylandia can be found in southern Poland, and as of 2024, they will be only the 2nd park on Earth to reach 20 roller coasters. Granted, most of these are small family coasters, but the park's top 4 is really terrific. Zadra is a massive RMC Hyper hybrid coaster and one of the best roller coasters in the world in my opinion. Hyperion is Europe's second tallest roller coaster, a huge intimate mega coaster and a really great ride. Abyssus is a Vekoma double launch coaster with an awesome variety of forces, and Formula is essentially a small version of Abyssus. Then you've got a handful of great coasters at various family parks like Let Coaster at Legendia, one of the most intense coasters out there, and Velkolak at Mahaland Kovnati. Aside from that, there's little else offered in Poland, but at the rate the country's coaster collection has been growing, I'd expect that to change with time. Number 7, Sweden. You wouldn't expect a country with just 35 roller coasters to rank above others that have up to 6 times as much. But Sweden just has a select few parks that have built up some truly spectacular roller coaster collections. The 3 parks, namely Liseberg, Grönalund, and Kolmarden. Some must-dos at these parks include Helix at Liseberg, one of the longest launch coasters out there. Balder, located in the same park, has also received lots of fanfare. Wildfire at Kolmarden is one of 3 RMCs in Europe, and many will say it's one of the best coasters on the continent. Grönalund really carries the supporting lineup in my opinion. The park doesn't exactly have one really amazing coaster, but they have so many solid filler attractions. Sweden is sky high on my to-do list because they are home to some absolutely marvelous coasters. Number 6, Italy. I feel like this is one of those underrated countries for roller coasters that more coaster enthusiasts frankly should be visiting. I too am guilty of holding off on Italy since other countries, including the top 5 that I've ranked higher, are bigger priorities. But in Italy you'll find 133 roller coasters at some really great theme parks. The one with the best screen machines is Mirabilandia, home to Ice Speed and Katoon. Both of these look like some of the best rides of their kind in the world. There's also Gardaland with a handful of B&Ms, including Raptor and Oblivion the Black Hole. Something I've always found interesting about Italy is how many small independent parks there are with a big standout coaster. For example, Cinecittà World with Altair, Etna Land with Storm, and Magic Land with Shock. These are all absolutely fantastic rides that I hope to experience at some point in the future. Number 5, Spain. Spain is another one I've been holding off on since it's harder to pair with some other countries, at least by car. But when the time is right, I'll have to check out some of the country's 54 roller coasters. When coaster enthusiasts hear Spain, they usually will think of PortAventura World, and that's for good reason. The PortAventura Resort for many years was home to the country's 3 best roller coasters, Shambhala, Red Force, and Furious Baco. But now, there's a new addition coming to Parque Warner Madrid coming to steal the show, and that's Batman Gotham City Escape. This new standout coaster for Spain is the sole reason they ranked above the past few countries. It's going to be an amazing fit for the country. Some others worth mentioning include Stuntfall and Superman at Parque Warner Madrid and Abismo at Parque de Atracciones. I cannot wait to try these coasters out at some point. Number 4, Netherlands. One of the best countries for roller coasters I've visited in Europe, the Netherlands has a truly wonderful lineup of 57 coasters. They have an absolutely incredible supporting cast and one true standout that justifies their high placement. The standout ride is Untamed at Walibi Holland, a fantastic RMC with more airtime than you could possibly imagine. Also in that park are 2 of the country's signature coasters, Goliath and Lost Gravity. The up-and-coming Toverland is a park with 2 more great attractions, Troy and Phoenix. I thought both of these were really well done. Efteling, though not an extreme thrill park, has got a few really well-themed coaster experiences. My personal favorites there were Joris en de Draak, Baron 1898, and Vliegende Hollander. And lastly, I also had the chance to visit Slagharen to check out Gold Rush, which is another fun ride. You'll find a lot of small parks like Slagharen in the Netherlands, home to some noteworthy coasters as well. It's a really strong selection overall, and best of all is that they are not located far from one another. Number 3, Belgium. The country of Belgium ranked very highly on this list, and I'm guessing that may have surprised some of you. Before 2021, I don't even think they would have made the top 10 to be honest. But something happened that year that put Belgium on the map for coaster enthusiasts all over the world. 2 new additions at 2 different parks can be credited with the huge jump on this list, because not only did they become Belgium's 2 best roller coasters in their history, but also some of the best anywhere in the world. The Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland Japan is my favorite coaster I have ever been on. This park that previously just had 1 thrill coaster and Anubis the Ride shocked the coaster enthusiast world by announcing the craziest spinning coaster of all time. Ride to Happiness is a work of art between its layout, technology, and onboard audio. Over at Walibi Belgium, Conda debuted to similar rave reviews. This is one of the best mega coasters ever built and one of the best Intamins of all time. The layout is perfectly balanced with loads of airtime moments. But it doesn't just end there. Belgium has a similar supporting lineup to the Netherlands. Maybe a bit weaker overall, but ultimately they ranked higher because that 1-2 punch they now have is simply unbeatable. Getting to experience Fury at Bobbejaanland is a must, an absolutely fantastic Ursulaur Infinity coaster. And don't forget about all the other filler attractions at Walibi Belgium and Plopsaland Japan. If you didn't have Belgium on your radar before this video, absolutely make it a priority when visiting Europe. Number 2, United Kingdom. It's no secret that the UK has an incredibly deep collection of roller coasters with something for every type of thrill seeker. 205 existing coasters operate here, with one on the way that really needs to be mentioned for the sake of this video, and that's Exodus at Thorpe Park. This is what I truly believe will be the best coaster the country has ever seen. Without this upcoming edition, I think I'd be more skeptical about putting the UK so high, since yes, they have an amazing filler lineup, but no true elite coaster. Nemesis and Smiler at Alton Towers are probably the next closest thing, and admittedly, these rides are awesome. Nemesis is one of the most legendary inverted coasters in the world, and Smiler is the record holder for most inversions on any ride out there at 14. Another great park for thrill rides is Thorpe Park. In addition to the upcoming Exodus coaster, they are home to rides like Stealth, Swarm, Nemesis Inferno, and Saw the Ride. But I think the number one reason the UK deserves to be ranked at 2 is because there are so many independent parks with big coasters. Blackpool Pleasure Beach, home to Icon and Big One, is a great example. There's Oakwood with Megaphobia, Flamingo Land with Sick, Chessington World of Adventure with Mandrill Mayhem, Fantasy Island with Odyssey, and the list goes on and on. It would be so challenging to hit up all the British parks in one trip, which in my opinion speaks to the quality of the country's roller coaster collection. And now, we're left with one pretty obvious winner, and that's number 1, Germany. It should have been clear since the beginning that Germany would be the number 1 spot on this list. I visited the country this past summer and hit as many parks and coasters as I possibly could. And even so, there's many more I have yet to experience, namely in the east, as parks like Belantis and Freizeitpark Park Plan are still on my bucket list. Germany is home to 268 roller coasters, and here's the ones you cannot miss. Der Schwur des Cannon and Fluchtbahn Novgorod at Hansa Park are my 2 favorite Gerstlauer coasters I've ever experienced. Expedition G-Force at Holiday Park is the country's most famous coaster, arguably the best anywhere in the country. Phantasialand near Cologne has a remarkable trio of coasters, featuring Fly, Terran, and Black Mamba. Same can be said about Europa Park depending on your taste. Wodan Timber Coaster, Silver Star, and Blue Fire Mega Coaster are all great rides. Heide Park in the north is home to Colossus, Europe's largest wooden coaster, and has some excellent airtime moments. Erlebnis Park Tripsdrill in the south has 2 great supporting coasters, Karacho and Hallsberg Kopf. And Movie Park Germany has a handful of themed ones, like Star Trek Operation Enterprise, Movie Park Studio Tour, and Van Helsing's Factory. That's just scratching the surface of the offerings in Germany. If you are a roller coaster enthusiast who lives outside of Europe and you can only visit one country for roller coasters, I think it would be wise to pick this one. There are parks scattered all throughout the country from the west, north, south, and east. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope this list can help you plan what countries you need to prioritize when visiting Europe. As a theme park fan living in California, taking a trip to just some of these countries was one of the best decisions of my entire life. And I can't wait to add on some more countries, hopefully this summer, which I look forward to announcing at a future date. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like on this video and subscribe to Coaster Dash for more content like this in the future. Until next time, I'll see you all very soon. Bye guys.